Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsuben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
I just took a sip of water, yo.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy oh, go ahead.
I almost snorted my water.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives, as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series that's near and dear to us. Today, we have all played the first half of the fifth case of Great Ace Attorney Adventures, The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story. Now, last time, before we left, I predicted that, one, at the very start of this case, Rose would be smacked in the face with something that she said, of course, how did we not do this yet? Did you, Rose, go, of course we have to have Hound of the Baskervilles the second this case started?
Yes, I figured it was gonna happen. It was only a matter of time. Hound of the Baskervilles is okay.
It's the one that's like so popular that now it's kind of overrated, right?
It's overrated. It's overrated. It's fun, but it's overrated. It's kind of cute, right? Because you've got Sherlock Holmes spoilers. You've got a lot of it is Watson on his own investigating something.
Mm-hmm.
Without Holmes there, because Holmes is like, oh, I don't want to attract attention. Like, you go and like look after this guy and see if this demon dog's gonna kill him. And Watson's like, okay, all right.
If there's
I'll do that. I have
Watson.
Hmm?
If there's a demon out there, if there really is a demon,
he's gonna shoot it with his service revolver.
Hell yeah.
He's a British soldier, by God. Or he was. He's not anymore.
Is this why there was that dog version of Sherlock?
Probably.
Because of the Hounds of Bass. Sherlock Hound.
Well,
that's just all animals, I think.
That was just for funsies.
Weren't they all?
That was his excuse to draw furry characters. So.
Weren't they all dogs though?
Well, but
they were all various animals. Yeah.
Dog version of things is not uncommon. True. I think.
Now, the other thing I predicted was that Tiago would be very, very happy about one event that happens in this case.
My man got it coming! Finally, some justice in this world!
Oh, you know what? Good for you.
I wish I was the one who pulled the trigger.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
So yeah, that sets the tone a little bit, maybe, for this case.
There were some other cute references in this case as well, including one I'm quite fond, a reference to a story that I have a soft spot for. So
okay, did you want to bring that up or now or get
I can
into
do that
when
now
we get there?
or I can explain it when we get there.
Okay.
It's more of a small aside as it's a fairly small story, but
alrighty. Then I will get into the summary. We'll do the first chunk of this investigation summary here first. So, 2 months have passed since Ryunosuke and Sato have arrived in London. Settling into an odd sort of rhythm, but without a case to handle, they find that Sholmes has gotten back his violin that he previously pawned. But something's not quite right. Iris shows off her cat flapomat device that makes cat doors. Wagahai, Soseki's cat, is also here, and together everyone realizes that Sholmes' violin is actually an entirely different instrument, so they return to Windibank's pawnbrokery to remedy the mistake. We get a lot of back and forth about how pawnbrokeries work in London, so that this is all established and set up for a lot of logic and mystery puzzles later. We are introduced also to Windibank and his incredible commitment to ensuring everyone's pawned items are safe and, well, some of his tendencies, well, are a little odd.
You can't show it on TikTok, that's for sure.
Yeah. My man wants to unalive himself to apologize.
The customer service representative that every job wants.
Yeah.
They want that level of customer service and satisfaction.
I have no fear of the TikTok algorithm. So if I kill myself, I don't have to go to work. So but like, come on, man, it's a little much if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, okay, to be clear, if you have not played this game and you have not looked at this case yet, Windibank is a large man who runs his animation. He runs to the back of the screen.
He turns around and runs,
animation.
fades away, and then immediately reappears with a gun.
Yeah, he grabs a gun and runs back towards the screen, and then fades in with the gun and points it at his own head, and profusely apologizes. Says, as recompense for my failures, I'll take my own life, my good man, kind of thing.
The only way to remedy the situation, that was entirely Sholmes' fault because he just picked up the wrong thing and left.
Yeah, me when I'm mildly inconvenienced, honestly.
Yeah.
I also, for a brief moment, wondered, because Ben was like, oh, there's something Rose gonna get excited about in this. I wondered if it was the viola, like, because I saw it and I was like, oh, viola mentioned. And then I was like, wait a minute, how would Ben know that? That would make me excited. Like,
I'm aware of your viola tendencies.
My viola-based... For my lovely violists out there, I did not play the viola, I played the cello, but like solidarity.
It's like the opposite of a viola.
No, it's not.
Contrabass.
We all get stuck together playing the fucking dumbass like harmony line while the first violins are like, woo. Anyways, fuck them.
Damn.
Well, several items around the shop are highlighted for us. Sholmes has made a security camera system of sorts for Windibank. The stereoscope craze is sweeping London, so we gotta talk about that. And we also get into the way that modern music boxes are now in disc format. Gina Lestrade also shows back up, and here is withdrawing an item, a coat, while also trying to pawn off another item, a disc, that she just pulled out of the coat's pocket. A JoJo's character arrives, supposedly named Eggert Benedict, and insists that the jacket and disc are his.
This
and
guy
after
sucks.
long back and forth that puts Ryunosuke in the middle of it, it's determined that these items were actually deposited by Magnus McGilded. Upon this revelation, Eggert decides to pull a gun and threaten everyone, but thankfully Tobias Gregson arrives, chasing Eggert off and also confiscating the strange disc. Later, Iris talks to Ryu and Susato, talking about her missing father, named John Wilson, who she reports is off in a faraway land. Ryu and Susato nervously exchange glances. Sholmes reveals that he took a mold of the disc before Scotland Yard took it, but now needs to find the right music box to play it because there is no consistent model, shape, or design for music boxes. Lastly, during dinner, when Iris mentions a Baskervilles offhand, Susato says the full title, The Hound of the Baskervilles, which shocks Iris. How could Susato know this unpublished book's title? She begs Iris to let her explain, but not right now. The evening after dinner, Gina shows Iris how to pickpocket, and they talk about the Hound of the Baskervilles again. Iris reveals that it's fully written, just sitting in Windibank's safe. As Sholmes said, it cannot be published until, quote, the time is right. Gina scoffs, saying adults just lie all the time, and she bets it isn't even in there. Later that night, Ryunosuke and Sholmes see the light on in Windibank's, and that Gina's spot in the bed is empty. Fearing the worst, they run across the street, and abruptly, Sholmes is shot. Tiago rejoices.
Yippee!
Yeah.
Susato rushes to his aid, and Ryunosuke attempts to chase the unknown gunman. Unable to catch them, Ryu returns and sees inside the locked storeroom a dead Windibank, and Gina out cold, with a gun in her hand. So, do we want to kind of talk a little bit about this first chunk? Because at this point, the game kind of puts a little bit of a break in here, and then we get into actual investigation stuff. But here, we're just kind of hanging out with everybody. We're dealing with Sholmes' violin. We're dealing with Eggert Benedict and all of his nonsense, and kind of setting up, that Gina, even though she's kind of saying like, oh, Iris, I don't understand what this mantle script thing is. I don't understand what's going on here, but I bet the adults are just lying to you. I'm gonna go check anyway, and break in and see if this book is actually there.
Real quick, excuse me, I started yawning because I don't have good sleep patterns. This thought just occurred to me when you were doing the recap. Thank you very much, Ben. We're gonna investigate the case a little bit, and we find out that the room that both Windibank's body and Gina ended up in was a locked room.
Yes,
and it occurs to me that in the preamble before this, when we're all hanging out, and little Iris invited her friend little Ginny, and little Holmes was there, and he was looking very shootable. Iris pulls out this device called the door makinator or whatever.
The cat doorinator. Yeah, that's gonna be important later for real.
That's probably how she got into the locked room, right? It creates a little door, and Gina's a pickpocket. She could squirrel her way in through a cat door, probably. That, I think there's a little cat door in the door. And if that shows up in court later, I want $1. I want an actual $1. Because I feel like a genius making this call right now. Little Iris still looks like a League of Legends character, but she did grow on me in this part of the case, this game, because this is the most time we spent with little Iris, and I'm like getting kind of not like attached, but used to her. And the fact that I recognize that she is my roommate downstairs and I can't avoid her.
You're not hating her, is what
I
you're
would just
saying.
wish she looked more normal or more weird. One of those two. The writing on her is fine.
I actually think her writing's pretty decent. Like,
yeah.
Weirdly enough, more human than well, it's not weird. Holmes is a fucking freak, but yeah, she's actually
freakazoid.
She's actually like weirdly grounded, because like they do play the trope of like, yes, she's a child genius, but don't forget the first part of that phrase, she's a child.
Yeah, Ryunosuke has like a bit where he's like, it's really easy to actually forget that she's 10 because she's so well educated and she's very eloquent, right? So he's like, sometimes it's he kind of has like a thought to himself, that evening after dinner, where he's just like, damn, actually, she still just wants a mommy and a daddy kind of thing, right? She just wants
to hang out with her cool older friend Gina, who smokes cigarettes.
Exactly.
Hell
yeah.
yeah,
exactly. She thinks Gina's really cool because she can pickpocket. She wants to learn how to do it from her, that kind of thing. She misses her dad because he just disappeared one day. She's still just a kid, and so there's a little bit of depth there that she's given in this segment.
I thought it was interesting that she basically goes, there's a point where she's like, yeah, I thought that Herlock Sholmes was my dad because
he was the only adult in my life for a while.
Yeah, so he must be my father, and then I realized that he was not, because he told me.
Imagine if you thought your dad was like Robbie Rotten from fucking...
But then he's like, I'm actually not your dad, and you're like, oh, thank God.
Thank God. If we had the same genes, I think we'd have actual problems.
He's just there's a lot of him like being a fucking gremlin too in this one. It's all mopey.
A very important thing at the beginning is that Susato receives the telegram, and the second we try to read it, she slaps our hand away and goes, no. And I'm like, damn, fine, yo, shit.
Yeah.
Keep your secrets, Susato.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like, we'll get into it kind of in the second half of the summary as well, but there's a little bit of like, Susato seems to be hiding something from you, right?
She's hiding so many things. Her sleeves are full of secrets.
They are. Like,
and her notebooks, but also secrets.
We like...
Well, the notebooks are in her sleeves, so.
True. She's like keeping secrets from us. We go downstairs. Sherlock Holmes is depressed because that is a trope. So can I be real with all of you right now? I want this to be a safe space for us real quick.
Okay. I'll do my best.
I watched a lot of season 1 of BBC's Sherlock.
Okay, me too.
And I do remember in that show, that Benedict Cumberbatch would get very upset when he wasn't solving a case.
Yes.
And that was a Sherlock trait, and not just Benedict being crazy on screen.
Yeah.
Sherlock's like that.
It's called acting.
It's called acting. He was in character, I see. Okay.
Sherlock Holmes is manic as fuck in the books. Like,
if he's not solving a case, he's really mad. Upset.
No. He gets extremely depressed. This guy has the most untreated ADHD, like he's got a lot going on. In the books, you're kind of like, okay, this is based off a real person, isn't it?
So
Arthur, but
so when he was upset, I was upset because I wasn't the reason he was upset. He was upset as his own thing.
Okay.
You were jealous. You were jealous.
You did not have a brief moment of sympathy for this man who traded away his violin and then got it back, and
he set himself up for that failure. What a fuck! He's a moron.
He's stupid.
You can't just take shit.
It's later revealed how fucking stupid he is. He literally just picked up the wrong thing and left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the part where you hear him playing like really badly, like the music changes in the background, and you're just like as I was thinking, like, what the fuck is going on? That's Sherlock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
What is that bastard playing?
Yeah.
Oh, very important. We have Wagahai, the little cat. He lives with us now.
Yeah.
That's our cat now. Wagahai. Hi, Wagahai.
Yeah.
He's a good friend. Good friend. So Sherlock is depressed. We have the concept of a pawn shop explained to us, because I would not have gotten the idea that a pawn shop was just essentially a depository, like a safe room depository for items. Because that's a weird thing to think about, right? Like,
yeah, this is how pawnbrokers were actually used a decent amount, right?
Yeah, this is fairly historically accurate, actually. Really? Like so much of this game. Somebody's really putting in their research, and I love that.
Thank you, Shitakumi.
We do get a lot of, like, shit explained to us for no goddamn reason, where I go, oh, this is going to be important later.
I actually straight up did need to know how pawnbrokery works, which is that, like...
Yeah, this is very important, so...
We put an item in the pawnbrokery shop, and we, like, pay to have it held for a certain amount of time, and then when that time expires, if we do not pick up the item, he sells it. That's how
like if you have an item that's and you need money, right? You can pawn it off to them, and then originally the idea was it was a way to liquidate your assets so that you could make more money. Theoretically, you have a jacket that's worth $20 or whatever. You pawn it off to the pawnbroker. You use that $20 to make more money. You come back with your $30. You buy your coat back. You've made $10. That kind of thing, right? It
was extremely common at that point of time, and that's kind of how it works today, but not.
I was ready for the Susato Ryunosuke interpretation where they both went, damn, Sherlock, you're broke AF. You're fucking ain't got nothing.
That's what it means now, but.
And apparently both Sherlock and Iris go, no, you don't get it. We're just putting stuff there because we like putting our stuff at the pawnbrokers, I guess. I really do now have questions about their finances, because, like, Iris...
You can't think about it too hard, but...
No, but here's the thing, right, is that we all agree that Phoenix Wright was objectively broke, and Edgar... Edgar, sorry.
Who's Edgar?
Miles Edgeworth.
Uh-huh.
Was objectively rich. We both know they're rich, he's poor, and then Apollo, we assume, is also poor because he just got out of law school.
Probably.
And we're Ryunosuke, we're a transfer student from Japan. We're broke.
Yeah, we got a little stipend, that's it.
I was under the assumption that Iris, big book writer over there, had the money money.
Got enough money to pay somebody.
I got enough money to pay somebody. So, like,
I mean, it seems like they are low-key using it as storage, because she at a certain point is like, oh yeah, when things get crowded, sometimes we just go pawn stuff and we remember it if it's important. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's the way they described it is how a lot of people used it back then. You could say, oh, I have this thing that's worth this much. Let's trade in for some temporary cash. Okay, now I can come pick it back up again.
I'm learning a little bit about history.
You are.
Wow, this is educational.
The thing is then, like, Iris...
You have to tag this podcast as educational.
Yeah. She obviously is using the pawnbrokery as secure storage, right? As like a safe, a vault for Baskervilles, because they want to store it securely, is the way the conversation with her and Sholmes makes it sound. He's like, shouldn't just have it laying around. For some reason.
Important note. Susato knows the full title of the story, even though the full title was not said. And then everyone at the party calls her out on this.
Yeah.
Both Sherlock and
really
Iris.
Awkward.
They both pull that stare.
I felt uncomfortable for real. Like, in real life, I was like, oh, Susato, no.
Alright, so, like, never mind. I was gonna have to pull out a reference and then realize the build up to the reference would have been a lot more work, so I don't really care.
Okay.
Okay, I actually can't go into it. I'm moving past
Please
it.
proceed.
Yeah.
So they stare at us, giving us scopophobia, and like, fucking, I'm like, Susato, what the hell? How'd you know? And she goes, I can't disclose that information at this time. I promise I can't. And we all go, okay. And we ask Sherlock, why can't Iris print it? And he goes, she can't disclose that information at this time. And we're like, okay, well, I mean, you both have the same excuse. You both know something, don't ya? Don't ya? Here's my...
How can Susato know something about this when she's been in Japan her entire life? What the fuck is going on?
I have a little theory, a game theory.
A game theory?
A game theory.
Here, that spot's open if you need, need to get that
I
out
don't
there.
think I don't think I can handle that emotion.
Yeah, that's a heavy crown. I wonder if, like, so Susato has a dad, and her dad's a professor, and John Wilson was a professor, and they were friends.
They were friends?
They were friends. Do you think they met during the case of the Baskervilles? Maybe that's how she knows this information, because she heard it from her papa. Much like how Iris found out from the notes of her papa.
All right, that's not bad.
It's not a bad game theory.
I'm actually, this case has some stuff in it that happens that further supports my theory that Herlock is just in fact a criminal pretending to be a great detective.
What would that evidence be?
When he does like a bunch of sleight of hand again, because he's done a number of sleight of hand tricks that we've seen, and he like gets an impression of the disc like before handing it over to the police, and like everyone is like even like we are like, hey, that seems like a kind of a criminal thing to do. And he's just like, don't worry about it, I'm the best.
I think it's very
before handing it back to you.
I think it's very important that we discuss how he made the mold, because he uses a very special item.
Yeah, candy.
A brick of caramel. Not just any amount of caramel.
It's too much caramel for one man to eat.
A caramel large enough to make an impression of a record?
No, you only have that shit if you. And he's all like, "Oh, you make copies
how
of
big
people."
it is? Like how big this disc is? Like actually, because like if it fits in a pocket, that's one thing.
Yeah, it is pocketable, so it is not as big as a record. It's I think it's like 5 or 6 inches across. Right?
But he immediately is like, I use this to copy keys all the time, so I can get into people's houses, and everyone's like, the fuck you say?
Yeah, it's really
somebody could read up on their shit the fuck up Friday.
Yeah,
I was under the impression that the disc was about the size of a record,
I
So,
thought that
like,
too, but then I was like, wait, she had it in her pocket.
they're big pockets. It's an overcoat.
Yeah, no, I think it's more like 5 or
Magnus
6
McGilded
inches.
was kind of a small man.
But that doesn't mean he literally had deep pockets.
True.
Hear me out. Well, all right. So we go to the pawnbrokery. We discuss with our new suicidal pawnbroker about how Gina is like probably the owner of the jacket, and then a stand user shows up, and his name is Eggert Benedict, and like
There's
that's not
like
his real name.
There's a couple of references in here. One of them is extremely weird. There's a reference to a police song. I guess they're like making a Sting joke. I don't know. It was really it fell out of place to me, if I'm honest.
Wait, what? They made a Sting reference? How did I not get that?
Yeah, there's like they do like every move you make, every breath you take.
Yeah.
Like line reference, and I felt like it was a little out of left field.
Gina says it. She says every move he makes, every breath he takes. I can't stand watching him.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
Is this? I thought she was just being British. I didn't know that was a Sting reference.
It's a line from a song.
So like Eggert Benedict. Let's discuss it out of the way. I like him. Why? He's a shithead, and he's
a JoJo character. He looks like a JoJo character.
He looks like a JoJo character. He's a shithead, and he's upfront about it. He makes no qualms, no fucking like.
He has one job that he needs to do.
Be the bad guy.
Be a bad guy. I like him a lot. He dances at us. He does poses to us. He acts like a gentleman.
He has such a weird vibe.
He tries to steal the jacket off of a child.
Yeah, because he's like, that's my jacket. I saw it. And then for some reason, the security at this fucking pawnbrokery is shit because the pawnbroker believes him. So, like, that actually does get me kind of tight. It's been like 2 months since this jacket was deposited. We'll find out when it was deposited later. But it's been 2 months since this jacket was deposited. He doesn't have any recollection of the person who deposited it, or the fact that she had the ticket, or the fact that she know the code. So, like,
when you're
I work retail.
A lot of people, you're gonna fucking forget.
I get you. I hear you. But, like, here's the other thing.
We are going to learn that the person who deposited this jacket was none of the people who are trying to pick it up. So
no, wait, wasn't it literally Gina?
It was not literally
McGilded.
No, McGilded gave the jacket to Magnus gave it to another guy. You're right. Apologies.
Yep, I am right. I'm very smart.
Okay, you are, Rose. You are right. You are very smart.
Yes, thank you.
But hear me out on this part, then.
Mm-hmm.
Gina knew the code word in order to receive the jacket.
Yes.
But so did Eggert. Eggert used the code word after Gina.
Yes.
So he's not fucking special.
My thought process is...
Well, it's not like... It was like, if you looked at the countertop, Windibank doesn't really hide the...
No, that's...
his little password book, so...
well, let's ignore that part for a second. If I'm Windibank, and I hear a second person... I know, I'm smarter. Now, I hear a second person use the same password. My response isn't, oh, the second person is the true owner. My response is, if the second person knew the password, how did the first person know the password? Right?
Yeah, I was waiting for that to come up, and it just didn't. It was really weird.
He just assumed that the non-child was the actual owner.
I hear you. I see what you're saying. But
I'm not saying it's necessarily correct. I'm not saying it's correct or
just
right.
Through
He shouldn't have questioned it.
Like, it's like we're playing a game of werewolf, and I claim a role, and then you claim a role afterwards, and it's like, well, no, I already claimed it. And we have to prove which one of us is lying.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I'm not the werewolf. No. I said it first.
Okay, but yes, but now we have to discuss that, not just be like, oh, well, the first guy was lying. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Also, Windibank's bit is kind of insane. He threatens to shoot himself whenever anything goes wrong. And I'm like, dude, I get it.
Times.
We're all kind of going through it right now. It's like that image of the fucking brothers from Twin Peaks: The Return. Like, people are very stressed out right now. I get it.
Yeah. Yep.
But God in heaven, chill out, man. Let's fucking figure this out. It's a child and a British man. It's not that hard to solve.
The child is also British. Have you considered?
Oh, that's true. And she's pissed.
You're not British until you're 18.
As they fight over this disc, what Gina does is she just shoves it into Ryunosuke's hands.
Smart.
She just puts it in his hands. And then Eggerd's just like, I don't know why she did that, but give that back. And Ryunosuke's like, well, now it's in my hands, so I actually, I'm not sure who I should hand it to. And he desperately looks over with bleeding in his eyes at Sholmes. And Sholmes like, I was just feeling so lonely over here. I was feeling so forgotten and forlorn, and but I'm so glad you've asked me to help. So he does a dance of deduction.
Yeah, we do have to help him do a deduction, and it's like pretty insane.
We do, and this is where another reference appears to Sherlock Holmes. The original story he concocts is inspired by a different Sherlock Holmes short story where some guys are in fact using digging a hole in the basement of a pawn shop and digging into the bank next door to steal a bunch of money. They do this by
League, right?
Yes, the Redhead League, and they do this by tricking the kindly but slightly gullible, well-meaning proprietor by paying him to do some silly task for a while. And then he comes to Sherlock because he's like, I don't think any crime's been committed, but what the fuck? These guys just disappeared, and I've, what's happening? And Sherlock Holmes is like, oh, bank heist. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But, it's a cute little reference, even if Sholmes is, in fact, full of shit, as usual.
Yeah.
I think that he just said a bunch of shit again, and we all just let him. We just let him talk. Gina said,
Tiago hears this
later.
Noise.
Gina was very smart. Where Sherlock showed up, and she just went, "Hey, Sherlock, shut up for a second," and then he did, and I felt great. And then later we talked back to him, and he's like, I was told to shut up, and no one talked to me again. And I go, yeah, man, nice work. He explains.
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. He explains to us I already forget the spectrograph. What's it called?
Oh, the stereoscope.
The spectrograph. What the fuck? The stereoscope. Is this just supposed to be like a Nintendo 3DS fucking stayover? You know what I mean? Because this game was originally made for the 3DS.
Yes.
And then they give us this thing where it's like, oh, you can make this image 3D if you cross your eyes, but when this game was originally released, I assumed all you had to do was turn on your 3D slider.
Yep.
Yeah.
But in this one, they're like, hey, cross your eyes.
And you can, and it works.
Yeah.
I just
it didn't work for me. Am I stupid?
I just love that they just straight up cross-eyed checked us. They were like,
sure fucking did.
Well, luckily I'm great at those magic eye puzzles.
I can hear the synchronized sound of the print screen being pressed on computers in millions of places. I did
hit the screenshot button when I did it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spectrograph. It's not. It's a stereoscope. It's not very often you get to see one of those.
No, the cross-eyed bit.
Oh, I took a screenshot of the stereogram, so I could cross my eyes later and look at it.
Good guy, Tiago.
I mean, you can just cross your eyes. There's a part later where you can they teach you how to do it, right? And you can just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's fun.
But yeah, this was basically exactly that, right? In the original 3DS version of the game, they had instead a little segment. They were like, oh yeah, turn your slider on. And now they did also have the dialogue about crossing your eyes as well. I believe all of that was still in here. It has just been expanded upon, right? They just added a little bit more to it, dialogue wise. But
also, kind of insane that Sherlock built a security system for this pawnbrokery, but only that it
takes pictures like 2 times every minute or something. What is it?
It takes a picture every hour, but specifically, it takes a stereogram picture, which is like insane. Yeah. Why would you want this to be on the court record or something? All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, cross your eyes for this next image.
Winterbank's like, I'm going broke buying film for this, dude. I can't keep this up.
I can't. You're fucking killing me. We eventually solved that Eggert's full of shit because, first of all, the jacket don't even fit him.
Yeah.
Second of all, this dude's carrying around a piece of note saying, "Follow blonde teenager and steal her jacket." I'm like, bro, can you fucking get better at this? Like, why?
We rotate the camera around and look at his note saying, "I did crime."
Why is it that every person in this fucking town, for some reason, is unable to keep a straight face when lying? Well, the second Sherlock goes, "I think you're doing something evil," and they all just look, oh, and then bug out and look at the thing that they're doing. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Christ.
Yep. No, it's funny. It's wacky.
We correct his logic spectacular. We get Eggert. Eggert pulls out a gun. And that's like crazy.
And thankfully, Winterbank has a little button underneath his counter that he presses to call the fucking cops.
Yeah, he's got a
but he was calling that specifically to like shoot the girl, though. He was calling that for Gina, and then it just turned out that Gina was right.
Yeah.
Fucking, I can't believe that.
Women can't even go and withdraw things from fucking pawnbrokery anymore.
Well, not if you're a blonde little fucking rugrat pickpocket. Apparently, she's a criminal.
Yeah.
Des.
Yeah, criminal.
Yeah, Gregson shows up. All the bobbies, kind of cover the whole pawnbrokery, and take over, and and then yes, this is the moment in which Tobias insists on the disc, right? And this is when Sholmes takes the impression of it with his bar of caramel.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't realize this at the moment until later. But yes, he hands the disc over, and we also get, I think this is where we get our first line from Gregson about he's got some big case that he's working on. He says something like the fate of the entire country rests upon it. He's like, I'm really busy.
I thought this was gonna be about the big the festival they're having in London.
Oh, the World's Fair. They keep bringing it up, so I think it might be related.
They keep mentioning the World's Fair, and at this point, I just assume that someone threatened to bomb it or something.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I think
something's gotta happen at the World's Fair.
I think Professor Layton's gonna be there. I really do.
I would like that.
Dude, Professor Layton might go. It's so crazy that we didn't get a Professor Layton / Great Ace Attorney. We got a Phoenix. Anyway, sorry. The timelines. They're weird, man. Benedict fucks off. Eggert
Gregson.
Eggert and Gregson are two different people. Eggert orders eggs. Gregson orders fish and chips. Got it.
Yep.
Fish and chips.
Infinite fish and chips. That's his infinite Tsukiyomi, is that he just gets infinite fish and chips.
Mm-hmm.
We have dinner later.
Expansion.
Iris.
I wish that was me.
The Infinite Tsukiyomi is not a domain expansion, Des. Domain expansion is just a Kaizen. Infinite Tsukiyomi is Naruto.
You're mixing up.
I don't know anything about either of those things.
I'm sweating.
caused an allergic reaction.
I'm having an allergic reaction. I'm breaking out.
I just want infinite fish and chips.
Me too, Rose.
We had dinner. Iris cooked. Susada helped. Susada realizes that she slipped the fact that she knows about the Hound of Baskervilles, and everyone goes, "What the fuck?" Gina and Iris have a cute little sleepover. They're friends, and that's fine. But not before Gina says you shouldn't trust her elders, and Iris goes, "Sometimes I do doubt my elders," and Gina goes, "That's for fucking right, you do." It's weird how this is like a parallel to Never mind. I was gonna think about you know Pinocchio? You know the story of Pinocchio?
I've heard it once.
You know how like there's that other kid in town who tells Pinocchio, "Hey, we should go to that island where we can go like smoke cigars and eat candy and turn into donkeys. What do you say?" And Pinocchio goes, "Oh boy." In this analogy, Iris is supposed to be Pinocchio, and the kid who smokes cigars and turns into the donkey is supposed to be Gina. But I feel like Iris is just innately smarter than Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Because like
catch on.
She'd catch on. She'd be like, "So this is the island where people turn into donkeys, huh?" And Gina would be like, "Wait, what?"
A cigar.
He's like, "This is
weird.
a rubber cigar. This is gonna explode."
There's a stick of dynamite in here.
You've painted a hole on this wall, and you're going to try to trick me to run into it, thinking that it's an actual road.
Dude, Wile E. Coyote could never defeat Iris Wilson.
Yeah.
It'd be impossible. This is one of our stupidest bits.
Yeah, you like. So, all this to say, right, that everybody has their little sleepover, but Sholmes and Ryunosuke wake up late at night, and they see the lights on at Windibanks.
Sholmes wakes up Ryunosuke for some fucking reason.
Yeah, he like kicks
Decides
him.
to bring him in on the drama.
And yeah, sees the light on, and he's like, Gina's not in her bed. We should go check that out.
If Sholmes wakes me up at 3 a.m., I would kill him.
If Sholmes wakes me up at 3 a.m., I'm going to stab him and be like, "Oh god, I thought you were an intruder." You know?
I think that's fair.
I'm scared for my life, you know?
Yeah.
I'd like to be woken up.
But yeah, speaking of intruders, they go in to Windibanks, and there's a shadowy figure there who shoots Sholmes.
There's two shadowy figures. I saw 2 heads, and they're not a chimera. It's 2 people.
It would be really funny if it actually was just a 2-headed character.
So our first like
going up for the World's Fair.
Going over the world, I would love it if all of a sudden there's just a 2-headed character. No, it's 2 people. Low key, I think it's the princely man and the Popeyes looking man from the previous case, because we haven't seen them in a while.
That's true. They were too outlandish to not be real characters.
It'd be really funny if they were neither a prince or a working man, but rather a duo of thieves. I am full of myself, and I think I'm the world's smartest man.
You need Rose's confidence.
That's what I just... Am I not having Rose's... Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Dad. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You said, "I think I'm the smartest," and you have to say you are the smartest man.
I am the smartest.
Yeah.
Especially since Sherlock is on the floor dying.
Yeah,
Rose is just like,
out.
I'm smart. I'm the smartest person in the world, and we're like, yeah, damn.
And then we go on the...
I think bullshit.
Okay, fine. I'll be more solid about my facts. God.
Oh my god.
I'm getting fucking roasted all over here. All over here. It's Wednesday.
So
It is Wednesday.
Ryunosuke, to get us back on track, Ryunosuke runs after the criminals, but cannot catch them. I know. I got to get there, so that's why I'm pushing.
Gotta go.
So he runs back, and then Sholmes is like, "Don't worry about me. I gotta keep bleeding out. Look inside the the locked room." And he goes, "Okay." So he peeks in, and he sees Windibank there on the ground dead, and Gina holding the gun. And this is when we get our little anime cutscene to show it and everything, and we finally fade to black. Get your little save point. So,
weirdly enough, I don't think Gina did it.
Oh, really?
What?
I know.
Well, you'd make a good lawyer.
I believe in my client.
Yeah. So, the next day, Ryunosuke reveals all that this happened. Talks about all this with Iris. She says, well, you can't just leave me at home. I'm 10 years old. So I've got to come investigate with you. So they start...
Fine, we'll get a babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is the workaround.
Yeah. So they start working on trying to prove Gina's innocence, while they also wait for Sholmes to come out of surgery. In addition, Susato has been summoned, as we said, to Strongheart's office, where she learns that her father isn't well. He's got a fever, and so she has to be returning to Japan. This shakes Ryunosuke, but the crew continues on with their investigation for Gina's sake. We then learn a lot about crossing your eyes to see stereoscopic photos, and we also learn why Gregson is so nice to Iris. Then we also learn Gina's real story and everything that happened in Case 3. In reality,
real.
Yeah, Gina was underneath the seat of the carriage, as previously established. But then when McGilded found her and promised her to let her go, but only if she swore, to lie in court and do one other thing for him. That was to pick up the coat and ensure it got back to him. He paid off Beppo to deposit the coat at Windibank's and then left the claim ticket behind for Gina. Of course, McGilded never got the chance to pick up his coat or the disc inside. Back at Windibank's, Iris, Susato, and Ryu finally get to investigate inside the storeroom. There, Iris's manuscript of Baskervilles is safe and untouched. In fact, nothing really has been looted from inside the storeroom. They also find a second claim ticket on the back of a photo, which is for a music box. It's overdue and thus presumed to have been pawned off. Lastly, after confirming that he'll represent Gina, Ryunosuke goes home and he and Susato have a final heart-to-heart, reflecting on their time together. As a parting gift, Susato gives Ryunosuke all of her meticulous notes on the McGilded case. They head to bed, knowing that this may be the last time they speak for a very long time. But we also see Susato then talking to Sholmes in his hospital room, even later that night, in which he promises that he will, quote, follow through with her instructions. What could it mean?
Man, I can't believe Herlock's alive.
Sorry, they were like, he's
surgery.
gonna make it the whole time.
It's crazy shit, man. So like, we know Gina didn't do it because here's just like a solid fact about this case, right? Is that Mr. Windibank was shot in the back and into his heart, so he would have been shot on his back left.
Mm-hmm. And he
Gina...
fell forward from the door, so he's face down from the door. So someone shot him through the open porthole in the door. This is deeply obvious to me.
We did also notice that there is a bullet in the wall near the door, and that blood belongs to someone we do not know yet, because apparently Iris has figured out blood identification technique.
I'm not going to question this one. This is fine.
Right.
Okay.
It's like she seems to be color coding blood types, perhaps?
Blood types, yeah, we even looked up when blood typing became a thing.
Yeah, that's right. We did actually. Yeah. So yeah, it was right around this time when they started.
It was around this. Yeah, it was around this time.
Started to figure out what different blood types were. So yeah, she's kind of just like, if you're, be positive or whatever, it's pink, and if it's O or whatever, that kind of thing, right?
Okay,
it's
so
really
like
convenient that all these bitches have different blood types.
That's literally what I'm saying, though, right? Because like, what are the odds that every single person in this case has a different blood type? Now, here's my theory: the bullet shot into the wall is the one that was in Windibank's gun, which is the one that was found in Gina's hand. Windibank, I think, was shot by the person who shot Sherlock Holmes. Apparently, he was perfectly fine killing Windibank, but couldn't follow up on the second.
That's hard.
And here's the other
It
thing.
was dark. You didn't have a good angle.
The Windibank fell forward. Gina was unconscious to the right of the body. Even if Gina did kill Windibank, why did she pass out to the right of the body? What is the actual like logical explanation for like, I killed Windibank, I'm gonna take a nap on the floor? Like, come on, man.
Trapped.
Unfortunately, this game doesn't work in the like, you need to prove your client's innocence. It's the, you gotta prove who did it in this world. So, whatever. Except for the one time where, yeah.
Except for McGilda.
Except for that one time.
Except for that one time. But that also turned out to be the most traumatic thing a protagonist has ever done in this game series. We have to get permission to investigate by becoming Gina's lawyer, and Gina at first is like, nah, forget about it. I'm going straight to the chair. I don't give a shit. And part of me is just like, damn it, I get it, we ball, but like, come on, you're gonna make a 10-year-old cry? Like, what's up? She gives us permission to do it, and then we have to meet up with Susato, who had a very sad conversation with the Supreme Court. What's his name?
Supreme Court.
Dude, there's so much audio coming from outside my life right now. For some reason, outside my window, I'm on the 3rd floor of a building, but someone was revving their engine and it's getting caught onto the mic.
Oh, I hate it when that shit happens.
What the
I think
fuck?
they did this yesterday because they were like doing a full blown like band practice yesterday at the high school down the road.
Don't say any more. You're geolocating yourself.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't say any more. That guy who's really good at identifying places is gonna find you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're right.
We're gonna get geoguess.
Yeah.
We're gonna get geocasts.
One of my coworkers is really good at geoguessing. It's scary.
Dude, she's so good at geoguessing, bro. You don't even know. Oh,
It's scary.
so we find out that Susato's dad is apparently about to bite the big one. He's ill, supposedly. And she's got to go back to Japan. Now, here's my thing. Why can't she come back? It's like 50-day trip there, 50-day trip back, 100 days. That's less than a year. Come on. Let's be real. Why can't I have my good friend Susato?
Time.
I know it's a long-ass time. Don't get me on that. But, like, there's no reason. Everyone's being like, Susato's like, this is the last time our paths
Last time
will
they
ever...
went on a boat trip for 100 days, somebody died.
Yeah, but, like, she's not going to get killed. Probably. What I'm saying is this, right? Like, let's forget about the fact that there was an assassin on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
What is the actual reason for her to unable to become back? Because for some reason, everyone's like, this is the last time our paths will cross. And I'm like...
She keeps saying this might be the last time we see each other.
No, come back! I need you! Shit! You're the most useful assistant we've ever had. You actually have a job. The other ones were just like our buddies on the bench.
Yeah, that like
Trucy has a job
on a daily basis.
Trucy has a job, but it's not bench relevant.
Yeah, I mean it's not this job, but she does have a job.
Trucy is the breadwinner.
Yeah.
The Right Anything agency. So
yeah, she's making the money.
Needs to be around.
Just because you're the breadwinner of an agency doesn't mean you're allowed to be in the court. Like, you know what I mean?
Anyone can be in court. Anybody.
That's okay. Fine, whatever.
We got this random 8-year-old from a remote village in Japanifornia. She's our court assistant now.
No, she's an X-Men. She needs to be here in case Magneto attacks.
Yeah.
But
okay,
like,
fair.
But like, what I'm saying is this: is that like you're the most like competent assistant we've ever had. Please don't leave. I desperately need you. I'm so scared. There's a vampire in the courtroom. He's going to kill me.
That's how Ryunosuke
We don't.
feels.
Obviously, it's going to be him, but we haven't seen him yet. Oh my god, what is his beef with us?
We're Japanese.
Racist.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, but like, it's got to be better than that,
He just
man.
wants to be the smartest guy in the room.
Well, he can go it seems like he thinks he could go do that wherever he wants. So why does he have to be in the room with me?
You have to be able to do that as a prosecutor. Like, that's a requirement.
You think that's what Van Zieks has, is that he's just one of those like sapio nerds who's like,
oh
yes,
my god, yeah, absolutely. I'm only attracted to intelligence.
Oh my god, I'm only attracted to people who don't believe in the British jury system.
Well,
that's what he thinks.
I think I don't know what he thinks. This man is like incomprehensible. Like at this point, we knew what the fuck Miles was thinking. We knew what Francisca had going on. You know, like we were starting to get these pieces of information. This guy, we got nothing. I don't know anything about him.
We still have the burden of a whole other game.
Yeah, well, okay, but I don't know.
So I wouldn't sweat it too much right this second.
But I don't know that officially, right? Like, I don't know that the second game is a continuation of this first game, right? I'm in my bubble. I don't even know that there's going to be a second game at this point, you know?
Now imagine how we felt when we didn't even know this game was going to come out in America.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, like, I'm looking around, I'm like...
We downloaded the even more racist fan translation.
I'm just like, what's this guy up to? Like, what's your beef? I knew what everyone else's beef was.
I look to my left, I look to my right. What do I see? No enemies. What's your beef, Van Zieks?
Just tell me. What's going on?
For some reason, he's the only person who is antagonistic to Ryunosuke. It's really funny. I love that he's not even in this case, and yet we still found just enough time to complain about Van Zieks.
I think it's really fucking sad that he's beefing with a college student.
No, we got out of college, though.
Yeah, well, he's an adult man, and, like, come on, dude.
He's also a vampiro, and has to defeat
the... That's true.
He has to defeat the Belmont soon.
It should be taken into consideration that he is a vampire.
Smell the Belmont on Ryunosuke. He knows they're in there somewhere.
Why is Ryunosuke the Belmont? I think it'd be really funny if our friend Cosimo is supposed to be the Belmont, but then he just gets killed, and it's like, oh fuck, dude, we gotta carry this whip.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he's like, what the fuck is this? I'm looking for that Cosmo guy with the sword, the vampire slayer. What is this kid doing? What is his secret?
Oh, no, Van Zieks, no, you can't say that. There's not all Japanese look the same. This Cosmo and Ryunosuke are totally different people.
I love the idea that, like...
But if you didn't know what the guy looked like, and you were like, oh, there's a sword. There's that vampire killing sword. This must be him.
Yeah, if I was expecting Goku and saw Krillin, I guess I would also be confused.
Sword, I guess could be a little confusing if that's all you got.
I wish it was a chain whip now.
Yeah, like photography's only just been invented.
Yeah, we keep seeing it all the way in fucking court all the time.
I know.
I think that we definitely know that Van Zieks is going to get real miffed at us when we tell him later that Magnus McGilda was super guilty. Do you think we tell him?
I think he's just gonna be thrilled. He's like, well, he was supposed to die.
Well, yeah, but like, there's part of me who still thinks Magnus McGilda isn't dead, and that the body inside the carriage is just like a random fucko. I think it's Beppo. I think Beppo's dead. We haven't heard from Beppo in a while.
Corrupt Beppo.
We haven't seen Beppo in a while. Where's Beppo?
Doing his job.
Beppo also withheld information from the court, so...
Yeah,
I think Beppo... Plus, it was his carriage. It was Beppo's carriage. I think he'd want to go down with the ship.
Yeah, Captain goes down with the ship.
Captain goes down with his omnibus.
I swear to God, if it turns out Magnus McGilda is alive, and it turned out that Beppo was the one who died in the carriage, I would have fucking lose it.
We're gonna get $3.
I'm gonna get $3 whole. Why haven't we started the Tiago's right jar? We should have been doing this way sooner. Rose, we could have been making a racket.
A racket, you say?
Where are you getting the money from? I'm not promising any money.
Why not?
I'm poor too.
Oh.
I have children to feed.
Ben?
Uh-huh.
I am extremely broke.
Ben, can you...
Ben's broker than me because he has to pay the mortgage.
Okay, well now we're bringing real problems into this, so that means this bit's officially closed.
Yeah, I'm not having fun anymore. My head hurts. I thought about money.
We can't think about money anymore.
Let's talk about something silly. Let's do another goof.
Let's spend 30 minutes on a bit.
Yeah,
Gregson.
Finally
you know what?
Why
I was sick of Gregson.
He finally admits why he's so kind to Iris, and that is because when she wrote her various books, she included a quote from Sholmes saying, quote, "Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders." And after that, his salary doubled. So he was like, shit, I can't say anything negative around her because otherwise it might make it in the stories and ruin my life.
So like Gregson, you know how to communicate things, right? Like you know how to convey an issue to another person. Wouldn't it be possible that you talk to Iris, on the level and go, hey, what you did was low-key kind of uncool because when you write about real people, they have real-life consequences. Now, Iris, I know that you're a child genius, but don't forget, you're still a child. I a man who gets paid, and a man of the world, and therefore, please write good things about me. I need the money really bad. Please, God, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also, I don't like his vibe. I'm getting kind of sick of him.
Oh, you're sick of the Toady Act?
Yeah.
I'm
like, oh,
I thought
gross. He's weird.
I thought the implication was going to be that Iris was secretly royalty, like she was a princess or something. But it turns out that she's even more important than a princess. She's a writer. And
the pen is mightier than the sword.
I don't know, man. You should really be talking to HR, because if your raise is being determined by a 10-year-old's writing, then, I don't know, man. You're kind of in a fucked salary situation anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel like there's a solution out of this besides, kissing up to a 10-year-old. Especially since the 10-year-old's straight up aware of it. When she's like, wow, Gregson asked really funny, haha, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, but, fuck, dude. We gotta solve a mystery. I don't have enough to unpack this right now. Oh, man. You know what? I think Gregson's my least favorite detective assistant. I'm gonna say it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The Gumshoe archetype has been filled by Gumshoe, of course.
Those shoes are too big to fill by anybody else.
In the 3DS, the Apollo Justice
Bobby.
trilogy. In the Apollo Justice trilogy, it was filled in by Emma Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Watson, yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, it's Emma Sky!
Emma Wilson.
Emma Wilson!
I miss Bobby.
Who?
Where's Bobby?
Bobby Fulbright?
Fulbright.
Yeah.
That was the craziest detective. I mean, he was kind of the goat, actually.
I miss him so much. I think Gregson's just I don't know, the twist of he's just sucking up to this 10-year-old for money is yeah, okay, I get it, but also nah. This isn't funny. This is not funny. I'm not laughing.
It would have been way more impressive if he was like, actually, I knew her father, Dr. John H. Wilson. We served time together in the war, and he saved my life. That would have been kind of more interesting.
I also like how whenever they talk about... They do talk about Wilson and Sholmes, and they are always they were partners, and it is highlighted as a keyword.
Were they?
That's really funny.
Red text, yeah.
Were they?
Red text partners.
Partners?
They were partners. Yeah.
And they were partners?
Yeah, I mean, the original Sherlock Holmes novels, there's a reason they are spawned a great deal of
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with a way to be. Listen, these bitches gay.
Yeah, you were trying to. Yeah,
I love that you were trying to
I was trying to come up with a word that wasn't Yaoi.
I like that you were trying
what can I say that sounds better? There isn't really.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote plenty of Fujo bait in his day.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, that's a lot to mentally process.
It was just like a really disappointing thing to say because I'm like, yeah, them bitches, like, I'm reading it and I'm like, wow, yep. But also, good God. Tain't right, tain't natural. having to apply yaoi to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's work.
Are you willing to put the yaoi down, Rose? We gotta keep going. You can leave it on the table if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I just think it's funny.
It's a little fruit basket on the table.
What a joke!
No,
let her go. We talked to Gina, and Gina reveals the end of her like tsundere arc and finally talks to us because fucking she's being an annoying brat ass teenager about everything.
Yeah, I did get annoyed at the
at a certain point. Like, Gina, you're under arrest for murder. You're going to die. I'm a lawyer. I'm willing to defend you. You have your friend, a 10-year-old here, willing to help you out. We have Susato, who is leaving to Japan soon, and is like... Susato actually laid down the law when it came to Gina. She was like, listen, straight up...
great, actually.
This is, I gotta say, like, top 10 Susato moments, this is one of them.
Just
maybe even
like,
top 5.
You know what, Gina? If you don't want help, then you gotta say it. You got to say it. I don't want help. I don't deserve it. And I need to be alone. And Gina's like, actually, I don't want to say that.
I'm actually really fucking scared right now. I love the exact line she said. It was like, all right, then prove it to them. Prove to them that you do not deserve the help that they are willing to give to you. And I was like, damn, Susato, shit. Fucking get her. Susato's honestly, she is quickly becoming my favorite judicial assistant. Mm-hmm. The only difference is that Maya Fey still has that Looney Tunes-esque energy. So, like, the second Susato hits me in the head with the lead pipe, I think that's it.
We haven't gotten to my
she
favorite.
Flips you.
We haven't gotten to my favorite Susato moment yet. We'll get there.
It'll have to be in the next game because she's leaving in the morning, Ben.
I mean, I think there's a decent chance that she like has false engineered her departure or something, but like I don't know.
No, I think
she seemed actually sad.
We saw a new Susato animation.
Herlock Sholmes anymore.
And it actually hurt me. That new Susato animation made me feel like legit pain.
The one for getting teary-eyed?
Yeah, I was like, Susato, no, you're my friend. We did this together. And she's like, you've grown so much, Ryunosuke. And I was like, fuck, I've been playing this game for like 2 years, but for some reason I now feel like a fresh-faced lawyer.
And we get her, like the alternate version of her theme that's like kind of like the soft, like plucked strings version as well.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good. This whole time, kind of whenever we have our heart-to-heart moments with her. Yeah, I don't know, man. The bit with her and Ryunosuke as they kind of have their final moment and she hands over her notes and everything. It's good. It's just good, right?
It's genuinely good.
It's just like actually like some good character writing for both of these characters. Even, I will say Ryunosuke still like kind of suffers from Ace Attorney main character disease, right? He kind of has to be a little bit of a bumbling fool sometimes and just being like, what? Explain the thing to me, right? But here we get like an actual moment with him where he's just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do without you? How am I going to go to court without my really good assistant? And she's like, you know what, actually, I think you got it, bud. I think you're going to be okay. And yeah, I don't know. It's nice. It also, again, I'm a sucker for Susato's theme. And I think her music that plays during the segment is really good. And it helps sell it too.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how, like, I feel like this case isn't going to, like, solve, a lot of plot threads in the Great Ace Attorney series because, we have the forbidden knowledge that there's going to be another one. But it, like, there's a lot of great emotional moments with all of these characters, like Iris, Gina, Sasada. I almost for a split second had a feeling for Herlock Sholmes.
Well,
I know. And then he got
That's
shot. I
crazy.
felt way better. I was cleared. It was like my sinuses were clear. Yeah, like, rolling the tape back for a little bit for Gina, she fucking admits that, like, yeah, I'm really fucking scared. I didn't do it. Also, I lied a lot during the fucking first case, and that's why I don't deserve your trust. And I'm just like, you know what?
you were kind of under a lot of pressure. And also,
Turns out
you're only, like,
Magnus McGilded said
17.
you'd disappear if you fucking snitched on him, so, like, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she reveals that what he threatens her with, that not only would he make sure that she disappears, he'd make sure that all of her other orphan siblings that she grew up with, in the orphanage she'd make sure
Who sold her out.
He'd make sure that orphanage just, like, got, what did he say, like shut down or something. They'd all have to go somewhere else, basically. He'd be like,
Yeah,
I'll
he
make sure
kicked
that
them out
place
of the
is fucked.
fucking district they're in.
Yeah. So
like, it's legit a problem. What's also interesting is the fact that, like, we know for a fact that Magnus McGilded 100% fucking did it, because his jacket was covered in blood, and that blood belonged to the thrice-fired Mason, because I can't believe we still have his blood samples.
Yeah. I mean, we logic that out, right? It's not like we have that on hand. We logic it out through
Through facts and logic.
yeah, through
like
all the
Edgeworth.
different blood samples that we have, we basically, like, through process of elimination, go, well, this had to have been thrice fired Mason's blood, basically.
Yeah.
And then we match it up with the coat, and since it's the same one, we're like, well, that was Magnus's coat, so yeah, he definitely did it.
I still like that Ryunosuke also goes through the, like, well, the most important tool a lawyer has is faith in their client, and I have faith in you, Gina. And Gina finally realizes that she's about to get put on death row and goes, yeah, you're right, I should have you save me. Again, wrapping back with the whole, like, theme of Ace Attorney, it's about faith, it's about believing in people, it's about Nakama. It's about really awesome judicial assistance. It's about inviting prosecutors to the cookout afterwards, but not a list of certain ones.
Right.
They're not allowed. There's going to be a big dinner at Applebee's after this, and fucking Von Karma can't come. Godot's in jail. Gasprin Payne
Miles
should be
Edgeworth
put at the
would
Hague.
not sully himself with the stench of Applebee's.
He'd
refuse.
I won't allow it either, if I'm honest.
Wait, you don't like Applebee's?
No.
Miles Edgeworth would be like, absolutely not.
Can I be honest? I've never been.
Okay,
You're not missing anything.
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
Is Olive Garden good? I've never been there either.
They got good
You got
breadsticks.
breadsticks.
Yeah, they got
Okay.
infinite breadsticks. That's all you.
The breadsticks meme is something.
I've never been to Chili's. Is Chili's good?
Chili's is fine. Anyway.
Chili's used to be. We used to go to Chili's for, like, a nice dinner.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like that anymore. I don't think it quite has the
Really funny
reputation.
Chipotle chicken. That's really good. It used to be on little waffles and then fucking got rid of them.
I think.
Hang on, no, all right, I'm pulling up the Chili's menu.
Oh my god, I my head hurts.
You're always get a free bag of chips.
Ben, can you go back and censor each one of these ones, but with, like, a different noise for each one?
No,
I'm
come
not doing
on.
that this time.
He's not a dog. You're gonna have to start paying him.
Oh.
Oh, so he gets a tip jar and I don't. What the fuck?
You're asking him to do a service.
I'm doing a service by making correct guesses.
Oh man, yeah.
So, like, I think this beginning part is really good. I think it's kind of strange how he had to go through all that rigmarole with like Egbert or whatever that dude's name is.
Eggert.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. That guy sucked. You don't suck, Des. You're my friend.
Oh, thanks.
Because all the really good characterization stuff happens post the murder. Especially with Susato, Iris. Well, no, I guess we got Sherlock shot because of the whole front part, so I guess that was worth it.
You got to set up all the pieces on the board so that you can make moves with them later.
True, we did have to have someone literally explain to us what a pawnbroker was, and stereoscopes, and music discs. We haven't even discussed the music disc.
We did. We got into some of it, but there is a bit where I think that we missed where Sherlock Holmes does admit that he's going to try to get every single possible music box to try to play.
Yeah, he wants
disc.
To buy every music disc.
He's like, I'll just buy every possible music box. That,
this seems like a really weird way to justify having like a record in steampunk London.
These were real things.
Yeah.
Wait, these music box discs are real?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys aren't fucking with me.
No.
Yeah. This is
and
they're like how a music box exists, right?
I know
like,
yes.
Yeah, this is the same principle, but just they started to flatten it out into a disc format to make it easier to carry.
And they just had it like a jukebox.
Yeah, but yes, but like we said earlier, it's not consistent. Every company was making their own size and shape of discs and music boxes, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's no consistency across. It's not like everybody was making the exact same size. Like, oh yeah, we got to all make them 6 inches or something, or we got to make them like record LPs or whatever. Everybody was doing their own thing, all which one way or the other. So that's why Sholmes is like, well, we've got this disc, but I don't know what box it goes in. I don't know what brand it is. It's just a generic disc. It doesn't have a logo or a company on it. So I'm going to find a whole bunch of music boxes and keep putting it in each one till I find one that it fits in and plays. Because when he puts it in the one earlier, it is the wrong it is the wrong format player. So it just sounds like discordant notes, like bling, 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 kind of thing. Whereas it should theoretically play music, right?
Wait, this shit is real?
Yeah.
And like, was the stereoscope thing an actual fad in London?
Yeah.
What? I thought this was just random bullshit.
Earlier, when I was talking about how nice I thought it was about how historically researched and accurate this game was,
Rose was just lying.
I was talking about these things as well.
The only thing I will say is that the World's Fair, based on the current things that we have already established in this timeline, the World's Fair should have been like, I think if I recall correctly, like 30 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. So they're kind of sliding that around a little bit. But other than that, everything's pretty like we're being a little fuzzy with the years here, but generally, this is the era in which a lot of these things happen.
You know who else shows up at the World?
We looked up blood typing and it was like 1900.
Yeah,
and this game takes place in like 1890, so they're like kind of being a little
it's all like between 1890 and 1905, right? It's all or not 1905, yeah.
What else shows up at the World's Fair is a time machine being presented to Professor Layton and his sidekick, Luke Triton.
Layton Jr.
And you can find these characters at Professor Layton in the Unwound Future to be played after Professor Layton in the Curious Village and Professor Layton in the Diabolical Box.
Okay. Who knows? Maybe you never know what Game 2 might hold in store for you.
Yeah, you're right. Game 2, Professor Layton goes up and goes, I just time traveled to the future to see your descendant.
The ending for Game 1 ends with Professor Layton coming out of a portal going, I'm putting together a team. Ryunosuke, I need you to join. Ryunosuke, I need you to join me, my boy. I'm putting together a team.
I have here
the
world
lawyers I know.
I have here the youngest forklift driver I know, Luke Triton.
The youngest forklift.
Let me explain what a forklift is.
Yeah.
Oh, you see my boy.
He's certified.
He's certified. Oh my god, we're going to court tomorrow without Susato.
How are you gonna make it?
We're gonna die.
Do you
I
think
can't do it without
Ryunosuke is
her.
just gonna stand there all by himself?
No, I think Iris Wilson's gonna be there because
She's
it's like
gonna come with.
she's gonna come with because like it feels weird if we don't have a buddy, and it's weird that the court lets us have a buddy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it really is that tweet of like the guy sending a girl like, "Hey, I like you," and she goes, "Okay, but who's the other guy?" And he's like, "Oh, he's here for moral support," and then the third guy goes, "Don't worry about me." Like that's what fucking Iris Wilson's gonna be like. Don't worry about me.
That's kind of what it felt like with Phoenix Apollo and Athena all behind the bench.
It's like 3 fucking stooges. It was really funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There should be like a Wario version of that team where they're like, instead of being like red, yellow, blue, they should be CMYK.
There you go.
That would be so cute.
And they'd be like evil.
And Wario could be there.
And Wario could be there. And well, no, Athena's already yellow, so she can't be Y. We'd have to switch the G and the Y, so the other one would have a green person. They can keep the yellow person, you know?
You know what? Much to think about.
Much to think about. Evil Apollo, his name is going to be Pluto.
What?
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, we gotta wrap up here.
That's
So
the joke that got you.
Yeah.
Alright, my fan has also been making noises over the audio for a lot, and I didn't realize it, so now I'm deeply embarrassed.
It's fine.
It's okay, I'm not embarrassed.
Yes, we wrap up in the evening, get Gina's, approval, all that stuff. We get our heart-to-heart with Susato, and she also does one last Susato toss. This is the time a Susato shutdown to send Ryunosuke off to bed.
I'm gonna miss it.
Conk him out.
I'm gonna miss it.
And yes, then we get our little fade to black with our weird 2 a.m. rendezvous with her talking to Sholmes. And he says, yeah, I'll follow your instructions, whatever that might mean.
We should have given Susato special instructions that if she sees Sherlock Holmes alive, to kill him.
She's not gonna do that. She loves him.
Yeah, she thinks he's so cool.
Fuck, I know, dude. I know.
He gave him a job.
Yeah, I know.
I think he has some skills that could be useful, since he's obviously a fucking criminal.
I really hope that I don't want the prosecutor to have a turnaround on me. I want Sherlock Holmes to have a turnaround. At this point, it'd be incredible writing if they somehow make Sherlock Holmes likable.
If they make you like Sherlock Holmes, I'm gonna be so excited. We should go out for drinks.
We should go out for drinks.
Yeah, I just, yeah, that would be fun. That'd be fun if they can, cause I don't know, he got shot and I was kind of like, oh, huh. Okay.
They weren't gonna kill him.
They weren't gonna kill him. They're very quickly. They were like, "Oh, he's gonna be fine."
He's gonna be so fine. There's no way they're gonna kill him.
They do mention though that what was it they say about his the anesthetic not working on him? They're like,
oh, he had too much.
He's been having a bad time. At least I hope that helps.
They're doing surgery, and he's kind of just having to grit his teeth and deal with it.
I always thought that was just them trying to make a safer work version of the fact that he is doped the hell up. Because there's one fact I know about
fucking laudanum and call it a day.
I know for a fact that if Sherlock Holmes was in Miami Vice, he'd be the Quaalude King. All right, that man would be rolling.
Yeah, if they wanted to be really historically accurate, he should be alternating on morphine and cocaine the entire time.
Honestly, let me write Sherlock Holmes. I could come up with something really funny.
Okay.
He dies in the first chapter.
Well, no, I'd write a Sherlock Holmes that's good.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, motherfuckers.
I love this for us.
It's gonna be great.
All right. Any last predictions? Any last thoughts before we wrap this up then?
Sherlock Holmes is alive.
I think I can safely confirm that one for you.
I think that... Oh, geez, I don't fucking know. This is hard.
We got some predictions earlier from you.
Yeah.
So, from everybody. I just was opening up the floor one last time.
I honestly think that Gina's entrance into the room was using the cat door maker. And I think that I'm a genius for thinking that.
I think so too. I think that cat door maker is going to be very, very important.
It got so talked about. Iris was like, check out this fucking thing I made. It had its own
JPEG.
When was the last time the Ace Attorney game introduced something weird to you that wasn't used?
No, not often. Oh, the
Me
black
looking at the
log.
evidence in my wagon that's all there, and the piece that I haven't used yet going, well, that'll come in handy very soon.
100%.
I would argue that the black Psylocks were hugely important the first time they happened.
Yeah.
And
yes.
They were.
Absolutely no consequences. God, that was still the coolest thing. Jeez. Oh man, I can't believe they never made another Apollo Justice game.
It's low-key kind of fucked. Yeah, I got nothing.
Then, that'll do it for us this week, folks. Guess what? I've got a review. If you like our podcast...
Oh my god, I'm so sorry about this episode.
I'm not. You're fucking welcome.
If you like our show, write a review for us. 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That really does help us out with discovery and getting our podcast shared and more eyes on it. So if you like us, please do that. And if you write one, a cool one or a funny one, we might just read it on the air, like I'm doing now with this review from Fayana, who wrote 5 stars, top tier podcast. This is a must listen to podcast for an Ace Attorney fan. I'm fully addicted to drawing Ace Attorney fan art and listening to this. So excited to play along when Investigations 2 comes out with different names. Sadly, rip Sebastian de Best.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, rip Sebastian de Best.
Now,
You're so right.
By the time you hear this episode, Investigations 2 will already be out with the new Miles Edgeworth Investigations collection, so feel free to check that out and play along.
Wait, is it out?
Yes, by the time this podcast is out, it'll be out.
So they're already doing it, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so cool.
So yes, to continue the review, I'm still a little sad that you didn't like Farewell My Turnabout as much as I do, which I still think that one's a pretty good one. But having already played Dual Destinies and watching your love for Bobby Fulbright grow and getting flashbacks to experiencing the same thing the first time I played it was a really cool experience. I hope you watch the anime because it's one of my favorite parts of the Ace Attorney canon. Thank you for this great podcast. Can't promise anything for the anime, but maybe one day. Who knows?
Wow.
And do a little watch. It's harder to do it with like a watch along, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The thing is it's the whole original trilogy has been adapted into anime, basically.
That's so much.
So it's a big chunk. It's an interesting adaptation because in some ways they actually change some things. I know they change the Big Top Circus case quite a bit.
I sure hope they did.
For my understanding is for the better as well. But yeah.
Is it magging on the 16-year-old girl?
Yeah, I think they change it. Yeah, they simplify it and change it for the better. Yeah. So, but yeah, thank you so much for that review. I really appreciate it. We love it when people write reviews, and we've got perfect 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. So if you do that, we will who knows, we might read it on the air just like that. You can keep up with the show via our website, updatedautopsy.report, which has links to everything that we do and all of our social media accounts, including all of the Let's Play with Dessy and I playing through the game at youtube.com/@yotsben. You can follow me on pretty much all social media at yotsben. And Dessy, where can people find you?
Sleeping on the sofa with my cats.
And Tiago?
You could find me at Tiago S. Dutra on the website, formerly known as Twitter, with my link tree in bio. I'm currently replaying through the OG Final Fantasy VII. I'm just about to hit Gongaga.
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 Me? Gongaga. And Rose.
Oh, Rose. You can find me at Rose Nonsense on various social media websites. And you can also find me in your local lake or pond.
Handing out
Distributing
swords.
Swords?
Wow.
I can't make any promises.
Oh.
I'm over here just existing in a bog.
Yeah, I was thinking more just like floating.
Yeah. Thank
I
you so
wish I
much.
was
I'm
Please.
good though. You don't have to call anybody.
Face down, I
I'm
hope
happy.
not.
I'm just slowly letting nature reclaim us, the moss growing over.
Yeah,
Terror
exactly.
of the Moss Man. Terror of the Moss Man.
Moss man.
Okay. And with that, thank you so much for listening. We hope that you will rate and review us, like we said, on Apple Podcasts. Or if you want, you can do Spotify or your favorite podcast platform. I think there's reviews there too. Next time, we will be playing the second half of the adventure of the unspeakable story as we wrap up the great Ace Attorney adventures. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.